You've booked yourself up, and that's great. But now you need to bring somebody else on to grow your business. In this position, a lot of massage therapists will hire a friend. But is that right? In this video, we're going to go over the pros and cons of hiring a friend so that you can confidently get the help you need. My name is Philip Schumann. I'm co-founder of spamarketing.com. Each week, I talk to dozens of massage therapists. I talk about what's working and what's not working. And in these videos, I bring you tips and feedback that I get throughout the week. About a month ago, I spoke with a massage therapist who had recently hired her friend. She told me this story about how her friend needed the extra money. She was always behind on her bills. And this was a big favor for her friend, and conveniently, it also worked for her. Later that week, I had to talk to the friend that she hired about another issue. And while I was on the phone with her friend told me, I'm doing a big favor for her. I'm taking time away from my kids in the evening to work for her business. And it dawned on me. Both of these people thought that they were doing a favor for the other. Now, this at the beginning is no issue at all. But fast forward a month or so, they're no longer working together. There were some issues that they couldn't get past. It's a bit of a long story, but they're no longer working together. And it did stem from this idea that they were both doing a favor for each other. So let's talk about how you can do this correct so that you don't have similar issues. First off, what are the pros of hiring a friend? So pros, you know them. This is obvious, but it needs to be said. They're not a stranger to you at all, right? You know them and you know more about them than you would know about somebody that you're just hiring off the street or off of any sort of employment database. Second, you trust them. This is obvious. If you didn't trust them, probably they wouldn't be a friend, but certainly you wouldn't consider hiring. Now let's talk about the cons. First off, they may be helping you out of obligation. They may feel some sort of duty to the friendship, or they might simply be uncomfortable saying no. And so they might help you because of that. Now that's fine for a short-term solution, but it's certainly not a long-term solution. Now, on that note, they may not see it as a long-term solution. They may say, I will help my friend for a period of time just so that she can hire somebody else. Now that's actually fine. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but they may not tell you that. They may have it in their mind, I'm going to do this for 30 days. I'm going to take time away from my children in the evening for a month to help my friend. But they're not going to do it for a year. They might not do it for a year, and you might not know that. So you might assume that it's a long-term situation while they've made up their mind that it's going to be short-term. And lastly, most importantly, it is very awkward if you have to fire them. Very awkward, right? Some of the hardest things that I've ever had to do in my business life is when I've had to fire somebody that I know and like and care about. It's not comfortable no matter what. And so this can be avoided. We've built a checklist of things that you should go over before you hire a friend, just to make sure that you increase the odds of success. So the first item on the checklist is that you agree on duration. Check that box. Is this a long-term or short-term solution? Are you doing them a favor or are they doing you a favor? And how long is this going to last? Next, you want to set expectations. You may think, oh, I know this person and I trust this person, and therefore they will do the things in my business that I want done. But this is an assumption that can cause failure. For example, if you want your massage therapist to arrive 15 minutes early, you should make sure that you set this expectation for your friend also. Don't assume that they're just going to do it. And especially if they think that they're doing you a favor, you can't make that assumption because they might not do it. Next, you should explicitly agree on payment terms. How much are they being paid? Don't assume based on your last place that you two work together or something like that, that they have the same figure in mind. And again, if they think that they're doing you a favor, they might also think that they're getting paid a little bit more, right? And if you think you're doing them a favor, you might not think about this in as much detail as they're thinking about it. And so make sure that you get this explicitly laid out, not just the amount, but when the payments are made and every other detail that goes along with the payments. And lastly, it's worthwhile to assess the risk to your own personal life if you do have to fire them. You know, we've seen people in very awkward situations firing friends, right? For example, we worked with one person who hired somebody from her church. And when she fired that person, it caused a rift in the friends groups that they had, right? You don't want there to be second order consequences to firing them, right? If your kids are friends, you should consider that, right? People are mostly good, but these things will affect the relationship. It will never be the same if you have to fire a friend. And you want to limit the risk associated with that. Now, I mentioned before that I'm trying to bring you a lot of information because I want you to be very successful. I talk to a lot of massage therapists throughout the week, and I'm trying to bring that to you. All I ask for in exchange is your support. If you can do that by liking and subscribing to this channel, I would greatly appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.